If you watched my last video on the risks of the carnivore diet and post-viral conditions, you heard me mention a critical compound, butyrate. It's one of the most important and most overlooked keys to post-viral recovery. In this video, we'll dive deep into what butyrate is, why it matters for your gut, for your immune system, and for your mitochondria, and how to restore it. Because if your gut isn't making butyrate, healing becomes a whole lot harder. Butyrate, or butyric acid, is a short-chain fatty acid produced when gut bacteria ferment dietary fiber, especially resistant starch. These are starches that are resistant to full digestion, things like green bananas, cooled potatoes, cooked and cooled rice, beans, lentils, oats, and barley. Butyrate provides fuel for the cells lining your colon, the colonocytes. It also helps maintain the integrity of your gut barrier and regulates inflammation in the gut. But its impact doesn't stop in the gut. Butyrate affects immune signaling, brain chemistry, mitochondrial function, and sleep regulation. We'll look more at these one by one throughout the video. Think of butyrate not just as a metabolite, but as a messenger molecule, connecting the microbiome to systems throughout the body. In post-viral conditions, we see clear disruptions in the gut microbiome. Reduced microbial diversity, loss of beneficial bacteria, lower levels of short-chain fatty acids, especially butyrate. A 2016 study found that Faecalibacterium prausnitzii, a key butyrate producer, was significantly depleted in ME/CFS. And in Long COVID, a 2021 metabolomic study found reduced short-chain fatty acid production and disrupted microbial metabolism in the guts of patients. Butyrate depletion correlates with disease severity. Similar patterns are also emerging in fibromyalgia. Studies have found reduced levels of butyrate-producing microbes in patients, and that correlated with symptom severity, especially pain and fatigue. So these aren't isolated findings. They have been reproduced in multiple studies. Lower levels of butyrate-producing bacteria are associated with more symptoms. This suggests that butyrate depletion isn't just a side effect, it may be a deeper causal problem across multiple chronic, post-viral, and pain-related conditions. So how do you get more butyrate? First, it's important to understand that there are three different types of butyrate. First is microbially produced butyrate. This is made in the colon when your gut bacteria ferment fiber. This process doesn't just produce butyrate, it supports microbial diversity and immune tolerance, meaning our guts are less reactive to foods. The second type of butyrate is called Tributerrine, found in butter and ghee. Now this type is absorbed in the small intestines. It has body-wide anti-inflammatory effects, but it doesn't ever reach the colon, so therefore doesn't support microbiome diversity. There are also butyrate supplements, sodium butyrate, and this may be indicated in some cases, but they must be enteric-coated or delayed release. Most forms are destroyed in the acidic stomach or absorbed too early in the GI tract to benefit the colon. The last type of butyrate is isobutery, which comes from protein fermentation on a high meat diet, like the popular carnivore diet. Isobutery lacks many of butyrate's benefits, and it's associated with ammonia and P-cresol production, which may be harmful. Ammonia can definitely contribute to brain fog, and P-cresol has been linked to cancer development. In short, not all butyrate is the same, nor is it created equal. One of butyrate's most essential roles is maintaining the structural integrity of the intestinal barrier, your body's front line of defense between the gut and the immune system. It does this by upregulating the expression of proteins that support the junctions between intestinal cells. These proteins form the seals, preventing unwanted substances from leaking into the bloodstream. So when butyrate is deficient, these junctions weaken, leading to increased intestinal permeability. Leaky gut isn't just a buzzword. This is what it describes. It allows microbial byproducts like endotoxin to cross into our circulation. Once in the bloodstream, endotoxin activates immune cells, triggering a cascade of pro-inflammatory cytokines. This is a major contributor to low-grade systemic inflammation. Butyrate helps to interrupt this cycle, reinforcing the gut barrier, suppressing inflammatory signaling, and restoring immune tolerance to the gut microbiome. Butyrate plays a direct role in cellular energy metabolism through its influence on the mitochondria. First, butyrate serves as a preferred fuel substrate for mitochondrial energy production. But more importantly, butyrate stimulates the creation of new mitochondria. This has been shown in both muscle and brain tissues. In postviral conditions, there's clear evidence of mitochondrial dysfunction, including impaired energy production, accumulation of lactate, and poor metabolic flexibility. This dysfunction is especially apparent during exertion, when energy demands rise and the system just collapses. That's the hallmark of post-exertional malaise. In this context, butyrate isn't just a background nutrient, it's a metabolic signal that promotes energy restoration, resilience, and recovery. And because it also can reduce oxidative stress, it supports and protects mitochondrial membranes. So in this way, it acts on multiple levels of mitochondrial function. Butyrate plays a critical role in immune balance, particularly in promoting the development and function of regulatory T cells, or Tregs. These cells act as immune brakes, preventing unnecessary inflammation and maintaining immune tolerance to harmless antigens, including food proteins or commensal microbes. In post-viral illness, studies show signs of chronic low-grade inflammation, T-cell dysregulation, and T-cell exhaustion. This means the immune system remains activated for too long and eventually loses its ability to respond effectively. In other words, butyrate helps restore immune intelligence, and that's exactly what's lost in post-viral syndromes. Butyrate can cross the blood-brain barrier, where it can have a wide range of effects. It's known to support the expression of BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor. This is often described as a fertilizer for the brain because it helps our neurons grow, survive, and form new connections. In the context of post-viral illness and fibromyalgia, BDNF appears to be dysregulated, contributing to symptoms like brain fog, pain sensitization, and mood disturbances. Butyrate also has anti-inflammatory properties in the brain. Sleep disturbance, particularly non-restorative sleep, is one of the most persistent and disabling symptoms in post-viral conditions, and emerging evidence suggests that butyrate may play a supportive role in restoring healthy sleep architecture. There is some early human data linking short-chain fatty acid metabolism, like butyrate, to sleep quality and circadian regulation. A 2021 study found that lower fecal butyrate concentrations were significantly associated with poor sleep quality in adults with insomnia. Butyrate appears to influence the hypothalamus, the brain's sleep-wake control center. By addressing gut health and supporting butyrate production, we may be able to nudge the body back toward more restorative, metabolically regenerative sleep. So how do we support butyrate naturally? Supplementation doesn't really work. There may be next-generation probiotics in the future that are centered on butyrate, but we're not quite there yet. Our best bet right now is to focus on a diet that promotes and feeds butyrate-producing bacteria. This includes a diet that's high in resistant starch and polyphenol-rich foods. These compounds selectively feed beneficial microbes and improve butyrate production. On the flip side, we want to avoid meat-only diets. High-protein diets promote isobutyrate, not butyrate. Over time, this can shift microbial metabolism in the wrong direction and lead to more brain fog and more inflammation. Butyrate isn't a quick fix, but it is foundational. Focus on the diet. Over time, restoring butyrate helps rebuild the terrain, your gut, your immunity, and your energy system. Post-viral recovery is slow. Butyrate is one of the few tools we know that quietly works in the background, repairing, regulating, and restoring. So if you've struggled with fatigue, food intolerance, or sleep disruption, this is one place to start. Thanks so much for watching. If this helped, give it a like, be sure to subscribe, and you can explore more at my website, postviralnutrition.com, including video courses that dive deep into the specifics of digestive issues and post-viral illness. Or if you'd like, I offer one-on-one dietary guidance. So check it out, and I'll see you in the next video.